Do you remember just a few days ago when Elon Musk black eye was trending? He was showing a shiner just before he was shown the White House door. He told an odd story that day, and we may never know if it's true. Just exposed there was another physical rumble in the Trump jungle that involved Musk, and I have all the confirmed details for you next. I will have that blockbuster for you in just a minute, but first, let's revisit that moment of Elon Musk putting on a show with Trump in the Oval Office. When I saw this clip for the first time, I thought to myself, when someone lies, sometimes their story is a little bit too contrived and their jokes sound like nervous tics. Have a look and judge for yourself, and watch how Trump comically joins in to juice up the story.
What is your eye okay? What happened to your eye? I noticed there was a bruise there.
Well, it wasn't. I wasn't anywhere near France, so. But
what does that mean?
No,
I didn't notice his eye.
First lady of France.
Getting slapped, you know.
I didn't notice.
Yeah, no, I was just horsing around with little X, and I said, "Go ahead, punch me in the face," and he did. Turns out, even a 5-year-old punching you in the face actually does.
That was X that did?
Yeah.
X could do it. If you knew X, he
I
could
saw
do
his
it.
mom right now. But I didn't really feel much at the time, and then I guess it bruises up. But I was just horsing around with the kids.
I didn't
basically.
notice it, actually.
Maybe the truth about that black eye will be revealed one day, but I think that moment serves as the perfect context for today's bombshell that confirms that another physical confrontation involving Musk took place in Trump's White House back in April. The headline read, "Inside the Battles That Shattered Trump and Musk Alliance." And it began with some sensational reveals into Trump's mind and the chaos Musk caused.
President Donald Trump was dejected, processing his very public split with the world's richest man. Rattled in the wake of Elon Musk's public attacks and apparent call for his impeachment, Trump worked the phones, debriefing close confidants and casual acquaintances alike. His former ally was a big-time drug addict, Trump said at one point as he tried to make sense of Musk's behavior, according to a person with knowledge of the call, who, like others interviewed for this story, spoke on the condition of anonymity to discuss sensitive matters. Musk has acknowledged using ketamine, a powerful anesthetic, which he says was prescribed for him to treat depression. The New York Times recently reported that he was using so much ketamine on the campaign trail that he told people it was affecting his bladder, and he traveled with a pillbox with medication with the marking of Adderall. White House officials said that Trump's concern about Musk's drug use, stemming in part from media reports, was one factor driving the two men apart. But the president, who historically hasn't hesitated to fire off deeply personal, blistering social media posts about others who have insulted him, was more muted regarding Musk than friends and advisors expected. In the aftermath of his Thursday face-off with Musk, he urged those around him not to pour gasoline on the fire, according to two people with knowledge of his behavior. He told Vice President J.D. Vance to be cautious with how he spoke publicly about the Musk situation.
And now for the blow-by-blow report that included 17 interviews showing that Musk was a loose and dangerous cannon, and Trump really had no choice but to show him the White House door.
Musk arrived in Washington in January as Trump's most powerful ally, spending nights in the Lincoln bedroom while serving as a top White House advisor. But there was not much of a honeymoon period, as Musk's brute force tactics, lack of political acumen, and ideological differences with the MAGA base eroded his relationship with top administration officials and, eventually, the president. In private, Musk made personal appeals to Trump to reverse the tariffs. Trump did not comply, only relenting days later after a steep decline in bond markets. Not long after, Musk's tension with Trump's trade team devolved into blows in an altercation with Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, said Stephen K. Bannon, the influential right-wing podcaster and longtime political advisor to Donald Trump. In mid-April, Musk and Bessent had gone into the Oval Office to make their respective cases about their preferences for acting IRS commissioner. Trump decided to support Bessent's choice. That disagreement was first reported by the New York Times. After Bessent and Musk exited the Oval Office and began walking down the hallway, the two men started to exchange insults, Bannon said, adding that Bessent brought up Musk's claims that he would uncover more than $1 trillion in wasteful and fraudulent government spending, which Musk had not succeeded at doing. Scott said, "You're a fraud. You're a total fraud," Bannon said in an interview. Musk then rammed his shoulder into Bessent's ribcage. "Like a rugby player," Bannon said, and Bessent hit him back. Multiple people stepped in to break up the scrum as the two men reached the National Security Advisor's office. and Musk was shuffled out of the West Wing. President Trump heard about it and said, "This is too much," Bannon said. In late April, Musk said he would be pulling back from Washington to focus more on his businesses, especially Tesla, which was struggling. Musk said he would still be spending part of his time in Washington, and his Silicon Valley allies claimed he would still run Doge from afar.
There is so much to unpack here. Let's begin with Elon Musk. He has now gone from eccentric billionaire technology hero to racist, power-mongering authoritarian, and now an impulsive, unhinged man-child who puts others at risk. That's quite a trajectory. Good job, Elon. And then there's Trump's White House chaos. We knew it was bad, but I don't know if we knew it was this bad. Donald Trump drained the swamp and he replaced it with a MAGA cockfighting ring, and I'll spare you the puns on that. And finally, there's Trump's White House cover-up of this spectacle, something that occurred back in April. So it begs the question, what else is the Trump administration covering up? If you have a culture of cover-up and deception, there might be more to be revealed about Elon Musk, about backdoor payments to the Trump empire through crypto, and maybe even about dance parties in the 90s.